Anna Smith had clocked out for the day, keys already handed over, when the call came. The next shift cleaner had misplaced the pass keys, and she was asked to come back just to hand over her own set. Frustrated, she muttered under her breath as she hurried through the glittering halls of the Green Grand Hotel, still dressed in her plain light blue uniform. She wanted nothing more than to go home, but fate had other plans. She was cutting through the back courtyard when the sound of splashing caught her ear. Frantic, uneven splashes, not the rhythmic strokes of swimming. Anna froze. At the far end of the pool, a girl no older than 10 thrashed wildly, her small hands breaking the surface for seconds before disappearing again. "Help!" The child choked, but water silenced her cry. Anna's blood turned cold. For a split second, she couldn't move. She was 12 again, standing by the pool while her younger sister Ava slipped under, kicking and fighting for breath. That day she had frozen, paralyzed with fear, and Ava had never come back. Not again. Anna flung herself into the water, shoes and all, cutting through the chlorinated sting. Her uniform ballooned around her like wings, but she didn't care. She reached the girl, wrapped an arm around her waist, and kicked hard for the surface. The child coughed and sobbed into her shoulder as Anna pulled her safely to the edge. Hotel staff came running, alarms of panic filling the courtyard. Someone shouted for the girl's father, but all Anna could hear was the girl's trembling whisper as she clung to her neck. "You're an angel," she gasped, eyes wide with terrified wonder. "You came for me." Anna's throat tightened. Moments later, Adrian Green himself stormed into the courtyard, his suit jacket half-buttoned, his face stricken with fear. He dropped to his knees and gathered his daughter into his arms. "Sophia," he breathed. "Oh God, Sophia." Sophia pointed weakly at Anna, still dripping pool water. "She saved me, Daddy. She's my angel." Adrian's eyes flicked to Anna, their gazes locked for a heartbeat, and though his words were formal, a tight "thank you," his eyes betrayed something deeper. That night, Sophia refused to sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw water swallowing her whole. But she remembered something else too, the figure in white and light blue pulling her to safety. "She's an angel," she whispered into her pillow. The next morning, Adrian tried logic. "Sophia, she works at the hotel. She can't just live here." "I don't care," Sophia declared stubbornly. "I'll only be safe if the angel stays with me." Adrian rubbed his temples. Negotiating contracts worth millions was easier than convincing his daughter otherwise. When Sophia refused breakfast, tears trembling in her eyes, he gave in. That was how Anna found herself standing in the Green Mansion days later, her damp uniform exchanged for modest new clothes Adrian had arranged. She had come expecting to be thanked again, perhaps dismissed with polite gratitude. Instead, Adrian informed her crisply, "You'll be Sophia's nanny. She trusts you. I'll allow it. But if you betray that trust," his gaze hardened, "I won't forgive it." Anna bowed her head. "I won't." She was excited about the offer. Nanny was a huge upgrade from her last job. The fact that she would be fed 3 times a day definitely added to the appeal. From that day on, Sophia clung to her angel like a shadow. At night, she would fall asleep clutching Anna's hand. During the day, she insisted on sitting by her side, listening to stories and asking questions. Adrian watched silently, his guarded eyes softening when Sophia's laughter, long absent since her mother's death, began to return. For Anna, who had lived with guilt for so long, it felt like being given a second chance. a chance to really care for someone. And she did her best at taking good care of the little girl. Even though a part of her was terrified she would lose Sophia too. Weeks passed, and the Green Mansion began to feel strangely like home. Anna would arrive by 6:30 a.m. each morning and leave at 9 p.m. after Sophia had gone to bed. She had Sundays off and often spent them visiting Alex. In the Greens' home, she had become an essential part of Sophia's life. Anna braided Sophia's hair before school, cooked simple meals with her, and even helped with homework. At night, she would remain by her side, holding her hand long after the little girl had fallen asleep. Hers was the first face Sophia saw in the morning, and on most days, she was the last too. One evening, after Sophia had gone to bed, Anna sat on the terrace staring at the darkened garden. Adrian appeared beside her, hands in his pockets. "You've done more for her in weeks than anyone has in years," he admitted quietly. "She laughs again. Because of you." She turned around to face him. "Thank you, sir," she answered quietly. Adrian stared out into the darkness, his thoughts traveling far. "I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't saved her that day," he said. The agony in his face was as if he was reliving the moment, his daughter, drenched and pale. "After we lost her mother, I thought I would never feel such pain again, but seeing Sophia lying by the poolside..." He closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. After a beat, when he felt more stable, he turned to Anna and asked, "What was the real reason you saved Sophia? You dove into a pool in the dark to save a stranger's child. Did you know she was my daughter?" Anna hesitated, the words lodged in her throat. But something in his tone, not just curiosity but vulnerability, broke her silence. It was as if her answer would solve the greatest mystery of his life. "When I was 12, she began, voice trembling, "my sister drowned. She was 10, Ava. We had snuck to the pool while my brother's birthday party was going on inside. My idea. She slipped. I froze. I couldn't move. My brother ran to call my mother, but it was too late. The loss broke my mother, who was still recovering from the loss of her husband the year before. 4 years later, she too died from heartbreak. It's been one bad thing after another ever since." Her hands trembled in her lap. "Sophia reminded me of Ava. I couldn't let it happen again." Adrian said nothing for a long moment, but his eyes softened. "You saved my daughter's life. Don't diminish that by living in the shadow of guilt." Anna looked away, blinking back tears. For the first time, she wondered if forgiveness was possible. After the talk with Adrian that night, Anna had one more reason to be excited about going to work. She knew at the back of her mind that having a crush on your boss was a recipe for disaster. She also acknowledged that it was impossible for anything to happen between them. But on some days, she'll feel his eyes on her. During breakfast, while she's encouraging Sophia to eat her vegetables. During bedtime, while he watched her tuck his daughter in. These little moments made her feel warm inside. Alongside her newfound happiness came a feeling of dread. Great sadness was usually foreshadowed by happiness. It happened on an ordinary afternoon. Anna was walking to collect Sophia from school when a black car pulled up beside her. The window rolled down and a smooth voice said, "Miss Smith." A word? Her breath caught. Richard Harris, the owner of Harris Enterprises, the company Alex had worked for, Adrian's most powerful rival. Inside the car, Richard spoke softly, kindly, like a father confiding in a friend. "It's nice to see that you remember me." Anna's hands clenched. The memory of their first meeting wasn't pleasant. She had gone to see him after Alex was arrested. She had even gone on her knees to beg. Mr. Harris had dismissed her. He would be released once he pays back what he stole. Alex had sworn he didn't steal a penny. Anna believed him, but the account was in his name. There was no way for Anna to prove his innocence, and no money to hire a good lawyer who could. Richard leaned closer, lowering his voice. I want to make you an offer. I can make the charges disappear. Free Alex. And in return, you would do something for me. Anna's heartbeat could be heard in her ears. Free Alex. That was what she had been begging him to do for a year now. What do you want? She asked. A man like him may request she murder someone. I need something simple. A client list from Adrian Green's home office. Anna's heartbeat sped up. She had expected at least this much. Theft was better than murder. But Adrian had been good to her. You will let Alex go? She asked. Richard nodded. He wouldn't have to pay back the money. She asked further. Richard nodded again. You have my word. Anna's chest tightened. The offer was poison wrapped in honey. Richard wasn't threatening her. He was tempting her, appealing to every shred of guilt she carried. When she stepped out of the car, her legs were trembling. Richard's offer echoed in her mind all the way to Sophia's school. The day the client list disappeared from Adrian's office, the mansion turned into a police station. Staff were questioned, security footage reviewed. Adrian called a meeting. Anna was called in. Vanessa Martin, his poised ex and current business partner, stood among the executives. Her eyes locked on Anna with quiet calculation. Richard has the list, Vanessa announced, and just like that, his lawyers dropped charges against Alex Smith this morning. Adrian, you brought someone new into your life, someone with access. It doesn't take much to connect the dots. Anna's stomach plummeted at the implications. No, I didn't take anything. I never gave anything to him. Are you saying you never met with him? Vanessa interrogated. She opened her mouth to respond, but no words came out. She tried again and got the same result. Adrian's gaze sharpened. You met with him. Her lips trembled. She could have lied, but she whispered, Yes, once. He offered me a deal. Then she stopped herself. Explaining further would only make matters worse. The silence was crushing. Vanessa's smirk widened. There you have it. She betrayed you. Adrian's jaw tightened. That's enough. That day, he defended Anna half-heartedly, saying there was no proof. But that night, when news confirmed Richard had indeed withdrawn Alex's charges within hours of the theft, his restraint snapped. You betrayed us, Adrian said coldly, standing in the foyer. Sophia clung to Anna's waist, sobbing, but his voice didn't waver. You're no longer welcome here. The door shut behind her like the final clang of prison bars. As the days passed, Sophia grew quieter. Her smile disappeared. Adrian noticed but didn't relent. He couldn't keep a thief in his home, even for the sake of his daughter. That evening, Vanessa stopped by under the guise of concern. Adrian barely looked at her as he handled calls. Vanessa had made a habit of dropping by lately. She was about to get into her car when a voice startled her. You lied about Anna, Sophia accused. I saw you in Daddy's office. Vanessa froze. Go back inside. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling him the truth, Sophia shouted. Anna never goes to Daddy's office. Panic flickered across Vanessa's face. She crouched low, forcing a smile. No, darling, you're mistaken. The little girl didn't seem convinced. Vanessa knew that Adrian may not believe Sophia right away, but the accusation would make him reopen the investigation. "How about I take you to see Anna? I know you miss her. Would you like that?" Vanessa negotiated, unsure what exactly she was doing. Sophia's breath hitched. "Anna?" "Yes," Vanessa coaxed. "Come with me." The child hesitated, weighing her options carefully. Her father had made it clear he would never let her see Anna again. After a long minute, she nodded. The car door shut behind her. Richard hadn't signed up for this. When Vanessa appeared at his estate with Sophia in tow, he erupted. "Are you insane? Kidnapping a child?" "She saw me," Vanessa snapped. "If I hadn't taken her, she would have told Adrian everything." Richard's face went pale. He locked Sophia in a guest room, pacing like a man and over his head. Sophia curled up on the bed, clutching the bracelet Anna had made her. She whispered into the darkness, "Anna will come. Angels don't abandon you." Meanwhile, Adrian's world crumbled when Sophia was discovered missing. The staff had gone to fetch her for dinner, but couldn't find her. Desperate, he made the call he never thought he would. "Let me speak to Sophia." His voice cracked when Anna answered. Anna, standing outside the prison gates with Alex, froze. Surprised, "Why would Sophia be with me?" That was a reply Adrian hadn't been expecting. Sophia was a smart kid. He had assumed she had somehow gotten Anna's address and gone in search of her. Hearing that Sophia wasn't with Anna initiated his panic. Where could his little girl be? When Anna ended the call, she explained everything to her brother. Alex's jaw hardened. "Richard," he said bitterly, "if Sophia's missing, he's involved. He has to be." It didn't make any sense to Anna. Why would Richard kidnap Sophia? All he wanted was the list, which he already had. Even though she doubted it, she still sent the list of properties Richard owned in the city, which Alex had listed, to Adrian. They drove to Richard's estate. Richard met them in the foyer, smug denial dripping from his tone. "You think I'd kidnap a child? Search all you like." Anna nearly faltered until she saw it, a bracelet beneath the couch, beads strung together with a fraying cord. Her years in housekeeping had taught her how to find guests' missing items quickly. Her breath hitched. The bracelet she had made for Sophia. "She's here," Anna whispered. Reaching for the bracelet, "She's definitely here." Richard's mask cracked at last. Police swept the estate, tearing through locked rooms. At last they found Sophia curled in a storage unit outside the mansion, eyes wide but unbroken. "Daddy!" she cried, launching herself into Adrian's arms. His entire body shook as he held her, kissing her hair again and again. But Sophia's gaze drifted past him. She reached her hand toward Anna. "I knew you would come," she whispered, tears streaking her cheeks. "Angels don't abandon you." Anna pressed a hand over her mouth, her heart breaking and healing all at once. Richard and Vanessa were arrested. Adrian's company weathered the scandal. Life slowly pieced itself back together. Weeks later, Sophia tugged Anna into the dining room where Adrian had laid out an elaborate dinner. With exaggerated seriousness, she said, "Please take a seat, madam," as Adrian pulled out a chair. Anna grinned, sitting on the pulled chair. Taking in the feast laid out on the table, Sophia was bubbling with excitement. "Open it," the little girl urged. "That's the first course." Anna's hand trembled as she lifted the cloche. Underneath, written in Sophia's handwriting with honey, were the words, "Will you be my daddy's girlfriend?" Anna beamed, looking from Sophia's excited face to Adrian's nervous one. Her eyes stung, but she smiled. Yes, I'd like that. Sophia squealed, clapping her hands, and Adrian pulled them both into his arms, and for the first time, Anna believed it. She wasn't cursed. She wasn't a failure. She was home.